podcast, The Survivor and the Skeptic. I'm Kimberly Mosby, your host, and this is Erica Bailey, my co host with We Are Iconic Marketing.
What's up? What's
I,
up?
I miss
Stay
you.
strong.
Stay
Stay
strong.
strong.
You've got this.
Oh, we've got this. Y'all know you can buy this merch and it helps Tiff. Tiff. I'm reading something from Tiffany. It helps Kimberly.
It helps
Um,
me.
it
Yeah.
helps Kimberly,
Yeah.
because what most people don't realize is that running all of these platforms actually costs her money,
Yeah.
right? So she has to pay for these platforms in order to do what she does. And so that's why she sells things like her merch. And can you tell I'm the marketing person? And I'm not all here, guys. I got bit by a spider, which really sucked because my hand got all swollen and yucky. And I got on antibiotics, and then that ruined my like gut immune system. And so now I have a virus. So I'm cranky, but I'm trying. How's that? At least
Yes,
I'm
that's
honest, right?
perfect. Yeah, you're
I'm
honest. And
honest and transparent. So, okay. So, talk to me, Miss Kimberly. What has happened? We've actually got some good news for you.
yeah.
At
Yep.
least some relief. It's not quite cash in hand yet, but
Right. Yeah. Not yet. So I finally received funds in my global family account with the global family group. So that was the global 528. And it was a large enough amount of money. And then I received another deposit on Wednesday, which increased that amount. So I really urge people to change your status to get that account set up so that money is going into it. I had to order my credentials card, which is like an ID card, but it will be my ID, my passport will allow me to do traveling globally. And and then I'll be issued another card that's like a debit card, which I should be able to use it like the grocery store to access those funds within my GFG account. So that made my day. You're muted. Oh, I can't
oh,
hear
I
you.
guess I am. Um, I said so. It's like a bank account with a bank card that
Yeah,
money
but it's
just somehow got in there.
well, it's the gold backed currency. So it's the American Federation dollar. This is how we're taking back our country is we're removing ourselves from the Illuminati created system so that we don't have to keep paying with stuff with their blood money that has Illuminati symbology all over it. The $1,000 bill from the American Federation dollar will have a buffalo on it, and it's quite beautiful. So I've attended two, it'll be three meetings this week with the Texas Assembly. And last night I was on the international banking call. And then I always learn something when I'm on these calls because some of these people have been nationals for much longer than I have.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's always very educational to go on these calls with these other patriots. So,
I
yeah.
think this is brilliant. But help me understand. So the money that I spend is backed by the Federal Reserve, which is basically there's nothing to back it, right? Is what you're saying.
That's right.
The money that I
That's right.
spend on a
It's
daily basis. Okay. And so is there another bank or place where this money is that came from the American Federation dollar? Is it like, is there gold in a safe somewhere that's being backed by this
well,
transaction? I guess help me understand how it's different.
yeah. So right now, Anna and her team are working on finding our gold and our silver. The gold is probably somewhere in the Philippines, and the silver is either with a JP Morgan, which is where they think it is, JP Morgan Bank and Chase Bank. So all of these banks are bankrupt. They're going to go away. There won't be another banking bailout. They'll be foreclosed. So yeah, it's just we all have to get involved in our own state assemblies so that we can talk to each other, educate each other, and so on and so forth. But tonight's call is with Anna. It starts at 8 my time, Central Standard Time, and I think it's 7 o'clock in Alaskan time. So I try to go on her live Monday night videos. They last anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours because she has the most up-to-date information. She's the one that's been spearheading this for 50 years to get us to where we're at today.
I guess what I get lost here is like, isn't it just doing the same thing, or where's the money coming from, right? Like in my head, our money's supposed to be backed by, like, I am so stupid about this stuff. I'm embarrassed about it. So gold backed means that there's literally just that amount of gold for you in a safe space somewhere, and you're using it digitally or cash, or right.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
that's what are we not doing already?
we're in the indebted slave system. So, indentured slave system, let's put it that way, because we're working for money. The inflation is out of whack from them printing so much money. You could literally wipe your butt with it. That's how much value it has. And so when we took back our country November 17th of 2025 and received a letter from the Vatican and were granted our status back in November, then that set the ball rolling to find out where all of our gold is, because the people that are in the mind control government right now were supposed to be contractors and are contractors. They're not even our government. We haven't been at war since 1776, or maybe even around that time. So it's very interesting to know that we're living in this parallel universe. And then some of us can figure out where the real system is. And then once you do that, then you see that we're dealing with blood money, which there is a YouTube series called Blood Money, if anybody wants to watch it, about the fractional banking reserve system. And it's fraud. It's basically fraud. They've ripped us off as Americans, and we are the creditors. We're not the debtors. The people who are in debt are the corporations, the U.S. Inc. Those are the people that are in debt, and we shouldn't have to pay for their debt through usury, which is the taxation system. Taxes are
Okay.
illegal.
So are you just trying to create a new bank? Like, is that what this is?
Yeah,
That
that's what they're doing.
Okay, and the money that is coming in to fund your account is coming from where? Who's like, okay, I'm giving you my money now. I guess the money trail is where I get lost.
So
It's like,
they're going after, because each person's monetary value is going to be different, and it's dependent on your CUSIP number. And we've talked about the
okay,
CUSIP number before, right? And
okay,
so they're going out there and fishing for data to find out where they've been trading us like cattle on the stock market, and where those slush funds and trusts are, so that we can get our inherent value back, because most of us are billionaires and most people don't even know it, and they're not going to know it until they change their status. Now, I want to share something with you from the
okay.
Global Family Group.
I'm actually taking notes.
Okay, good. So imagine a world where there's just peace.
Imagine all the people.
Right? Peace. So I get notification when they put deposits in that account. So, which is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they sent me an email, I think on the 11th. Let me find it. But yeah, people need to know that the system was rigged and not in our favor, but to make the 1% billionaires, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
What are we showing me? Are you showing me something, or did I get sidetracked?
Hold on a second. I sent it to Igor yesterday. So let me see. I sent him, you know, something is wrong when, which is good. Let me go into my iCloud.
Can you hear her clicking? It's so funny. It's actually quite soothing to me. It makes
My,
my brain like hyper focus.
my clicking? Oh, on the
Yeah.
keyboard?
Yeah. I can hear it. It's kind of funny. You
All
need
right.
more deposits? Yeah, we could all use more deposits.
Yeah, we all need to be getting deposits. Yes. That's very, very true. Yeah, they're fucking with me sometimes, and I don't like it. Let me look up this one. Let's go 528 and see if I can find it that one.
So while you're doing that, we are going to be touching on. Let me find it again. Targaryen. Is that the right way? Right way?
No, Tartaria.
Tartaria. Yeah, Targaryen. That is
Tartaria.
I know.
Yeah.
Hold on. Who knows it? Targaryen is it's fudge.
Tartaria.
I know. I'm trying to relate this to a movie. It's
Oh, okay.
Targaryen is it's the House of Dragons. It's one of my
Oh,
favorite shows. Yeah, Targaryen's the family name. Come on, somebody knows the name of this movie. Shout it out for or this
isn't
series.
it
Shout it out for me.
Game of Thrones?
Yes, thank you. That was on my mind. Okay. So I'm very interested in learning about
About Tartaria?
yeah, sorry, Jaden was taking Ellie out of the bedroom for me, and she did not like that at all. And I didn't want you to hear her scream. Okay, yes. What it actually was, it was not a single empire. Okay, give me a brief summary of what Tartaria, and then we can like actually dive into the details here. But your understanding of it, it's like an empire?
Well, no, it's basically the world that we inherited and before the mud floods. And so, yeah, it's very interesting that they're not telling us. It's basically lost history. Anywhere I can't find that
The
message.
mud flood theory. Okay, hold on.
My first video isn't very long. Let me see how long this one is.
Cool.
13 minutes. So basically, it's a peek into true history and the sonic weapons used to destroy entire civilizations.
Oh, this sounds like so much fun. Yay. Can't we ever talk about anything like yay. All right, let's do this. What are we schooling on today? I'm ready.
All right, let me change this. It's good in a way because it gives explanations, but it's not.
Luckily, I'm already in a crap mood. So you can't make it anywhere because I'm with you. So my joy is still there because I get to be with you and all
Right?
our friends.
Exactly. Hello, friends. We missed
Hello,
you.
friends. Thank
Okay,
you.
here we go.
All right, here we go.
This wasn't just a flood, it was a reset, a geospiritual purge, not from nature, from them. The elite bloodlines didn't just erase history, they buried it, literally. The mud wasn't water and dirt, it was liquidated memory, a slurry of alchemical reaction, sound frequency, and geo-engineered destruction. This was weaponized Earth. They triggered it using ancient tech, resonance devices, tower harmonics, something like harp but older. It didn't just cover buildings, it silenced truth. Tartaria wasn't a lost empire, it was the empire, worldwide, unified, based on free energy, ether tech, vibration, sound, water, and sacred geometry. The architecture still whispers it. Star forts, orphan trains, cathedrals tuned like instruments. They were building with resonance, not brick, and that scared the parasite class. So what did they do? They turned the ether grid against itself, hijacked the somatic fields, triggered a resonance collapse. Stone became liquid, mountains bled, the ground rose and swallowed whole cities. That's what the mud was. Not sediment, not floodwater, resonance fallout from a frequency war. The so-called mud flood appears worldwide. Buried windows, half-submerged doors, cities built on top of cities, perfectly preserved ruins beneath fresh layers of soil. This wasn't erosion, it was instant burial. The only force that could do that globally, with precision. Sound. Tartarian cities weren't primitive. They were powered by resonant architecture, buildings designed to generate and receive frequency. Domes, antennas, star forts, giant tuning forks disguised as monuments. These structures didn't just look beautiful, they harnessed free energy, pulled from the ether, distributed wirelessly through geometry and sound. The enemy didn't just want to destroy the people, they needed to shut down the grid. And to do that, they had to collapse the frequency field. There's a phenomenon called soil liquefaction. Vibrate the ground at just the right frequency, and the solid turns to sludge. Not water, not mud, but a state change triggered by vibration. The earth becomes a trap. Foundations fail, stone sinks. And if it's done on a massive scale, you get the mud flood. It didn't fall from the sky, it rose from beneath, triggered by resonance weapons. This was geoacoustic warfare, and it worked. These weren't myths, they were acoustic weapons. Tartaria likely had its own frequency defenses. So to break it, the controllers needed tech even stronger, tuned to the exact harmonic signature of Tartarian architecture. This wasn't random destruction, it was targeted dissonance, resonance sabotage. Every reset needs a story, a cover, a myth. And so they blamed it on floods, natural disasters, time, chaos. They rewrote the maps, changed the calendars, buried the history, literally. But the truth is buried in plain sight. The doors below grounded the streets beneath streets. The melted stone that looks like mud. They call them mud fossils, but they're not bones. They're entire beings petrified in sediment. Organs, skin, muscle tissue, some with cellular structures still visible under microscope. Discovered in mountains, cliffsides, deserts, often dismissed by mainstream science. But look again. Massive limbs, toes, ribs, eyelids sealed shut in stone. Caves shaped like skulls. Hills with bone marrow core, mountains with vertebrae. These aren't natural formations, these are corpses, buried, hardened, encoded in rock. And they all point to one thing. Something enormous died suddenly and was flash entombed in mud. How does living tissue turn to stone? Answer, rapid mineral replacement. Usually takes eons, but under the right conditions. High frequency, sudden pressure, saturated iron-rich sediment, you get instant petrification. It's the same tech used to make artificial stone today. Except this happened on a global scale during the mud flood. Fossils aren't dead, they're dormant, and the system doesn't want you near them. Mythology speaks of titans, beings of immense scale who walked before the age of man. Because if we remember what we're standing on, we remember what they killed to make room for us. Flood wasn't just about Tartaria, it was about wiping the past completely. It was a mass extinction, not just of people, but of giants, gods, original beings, and organic tech. Everything too big, too ancient, too free, collapsed under the weight of a sound that shook the earth's bones. Then they buried it, rewrote the map, taught us we evolved from monkeys and that the bones in the ground are prehistoric lizards. No, they were witnesses and they were silenced in stone. And when the resonance wave hit, the energy hit them too. It calcified their cells, turned blood to mineral, flesh to rock, that now we walk on their backs, build cities on their chests, mine stone from their skulls. The earth's terrain is not just rock and dirt, it's biological ruin. Some hills bleed iron when cracked, like oxidized blood. Some stones release smells, decay, rot, ammonia when split. That's not geology, that's decomposition. But we're taught to call it natural, to pave over it, to never ask what mountain that used to be. But some of them, they're still here. You can feel them when you touch the rock, and they remember. After the mud flood, the world was empty, cities with no people, buildings with no owners, infrastructure intact, but lifeless. Then came the orphans, thousands of them, shipped across continents on trains, alone, silent, reassigned. But who were they? Where did they come from? No parents, no records, no past, just children seeded into the ruins. And here's the horror. These weren't just orphans, they were replacements. The new population, the post-reset blank slates, told nothing, taught obedience, given names, jobs, uniforms, programmed to forget. Once the cities were emptied, the real work began. Erasure, history rewritten, timelines collapsed. Tartarian books burned or lost and star forts repurposed as prisons. Mud-covered tech labelled as decorative. And the children, they were taught new names, new flags, new gods, new rulers. So everything they saw was the remains of a world they were never allowed to remember. And with no elders to tell them otherwise, they believed it. That was the point. They even made a joke of it. Cabbage Patch Kids, babies grown in the dirt, plucked from the earth with no history, no family, no memory. It was a mockery of what really happened, but because many of the children were taken from artificial systems, some born in labs, some engineered, some left behind from before the reset, souls recycled into new bodies. Cabbage Patch, try incubator programs, try soul reassignment centers, try trafficking disguised as adoption. The reset wasn't just mud, it was the seeding of a new species of human designed to forget. They don't want you to remember what sound can do, what architecture can unlock, what you're standing on, because Tartaria wasn't fantasy, it was proof that energy can be free, that memory can be encoded in stone, that truth can echo forever through the mud, and that one day someone would remember. You just did. The cathedrals were never churches. They call them cathedrals, but look closer. They don't match the doctrine, they don't reflect the era, and they don't fit the tools they claimed were used to build them. Giant pipe organs, tuning chambers, vaulted ceilings. These weren't places of worship. They were resonant power stations, designed to amplify vibration, to direct frequency through the stone, to heal, to energize, to awaken. And after the mud flood, they were repurposed, converted, crosses added, bells swapped, organs silenced. They didn't want you hearing what those buildings used to do. The pipe organ isn't an instrument, it's a vibrational engine. Each cathedral once had one, massive, intricately tuned, often powered by water or air compression. These frequencies weren't just musical, they were healing, calibrated to the human body, the Earth's grid, and the ether above. When played in harmony with the building's sacred geometry, they could charge water, realign DNA, and even open states of consciousness now considered divine. That's why they silence them. That's why many are broken, sealed, or removed, because sound that frees is a threat to control. It was a planetary nervous system built by the ancients, upgraded by Tartarians, now fractured, but not dead. You feel it when you visit certain places, that buzz under your skin, that pull, that clarity. That's the grid, still alive, still waiting. And the more you remember, the more you reactivate it. This isn't history, it's suppressed technology. And the moment we restore the frequency, the reset ends. Everything in Tartaria followed geometry, not just for beauty, for function. Buildings aligned to celestial positions, angles crafted to match harmonic resonance, floors tiled with phi ratio spirals, domes that echoed the Schumann frequency. This wasn't art, it was energetic infrastructure. The geometry held the field, stabilized vibration, amplified consciousness, healed the nervous system. You weren't just living in a city, you were inside a machine. And when that machine was turned off, the world dimmed. We called it progress, but it was a downgrade. There's still a network humming beneath your feet, ley lines, sacred sites, forgotten hubs. It once connected cathedrals, star forts, towers, aquifers, and monoliths across the entire Earth. Geometries that mirror somatic patterns, plan replacement aligned with ley lines. These weren't defensive. They were frequency catchers, grounding stations, energy collectors. Some even believe they tethered into the etheric power grid and redistributed energy across regions using water and harmonic pressure. After the flood, most were buried, destroyed, or converted to prisons and forts. Because if you control the node, you control the flow. They silenced the cathedrals, they shattered the grid, but they didn't stop using sound, they just inverted it. Now the frequencies aren't healing, they're draining, designed to destabilize. Sirens, alarms, fluorescent hums, high-pitched appliances, constant low bass in cities, 440 hertz tuning standard, discord disguised as music. You're not just hearing noise, you're being programmed by it. The war on frequency never ended, it just changed pitch. Modern cities don't just look soulless, they're engineered to be spiritually sterile. Box shapes, low ceilings, right angles that deflect energy, fluorescent lighting that drains your aura. None of it flows, none of it sings. Your phone emits a frequency, so does your router, your smart meter, your fridge, your watch. Each one tuned to disconnect you from the grid beneath your feet. This isn't just radiation, it's vibrational hijack. 5G doesn't just spread data, it spreads synthetic rhythm. It overlays the Schumann resonance, Earth's natural heartbeat, with artificial pulse. So your cells stop syncing with Gaia and start syncing with the system. It's not just about control, it's about replacement. They're replacing the grid they buried in with one you can't feel, But here's what they didn't count on: memory stored in stone, frequency stored in flesh. Because the more we walk the ruins, the more we touch these cathedrals, star forts, sacred sites, the more the signal begins to come back. We hum, we remember, we resonate. People are restoring ancient harmonics, tuning forks, organs, singing bowls, and playing the frequencies that unlock DNA, collapse trauma, realign light bodies. The grid responds. It never left. It was just waiting to be remembered. You're not separate from the grid. You are part of it. Your body, water and crystal, your voice, resonant tech, your bones, mineral receivers. You were born into a silenced world, but your frequency didn't forget. You're here to retune the earth, to walk among the ruins and wake the stones. To crack the spell with your vibration. Tartaria was never lost. It's echoing through you. And when we remember how to sing again, the mud recedes, the towers rise, and the grid hums once more. The old world didn't erode, it calcified. And now we live among the remains with no funeral, no markers, no mourning, because they don't want you to ask what happened to them and who did it. You can see it if you look. Pressure, electromagnetic force, the same tech that brought down the buildings, brought down the bodies. A planetary burial, no tombstones, no funeral, just silence. And now the system builds on their bones, carves their faces into tourist sites, mines them, ignores them, mocks them. But the land remembers. You were told myth is metaphor, that giants were fantasy, that stone is just dead earth. But now you know. The ground beneath you was once alive. It held memory, movement, emotion, and maybe it still does. Nothing you were taught about history is true. It's not just about a lost empire. It's about a manipulated timeline, because Tartaria shows advanced tech, high knowledge, global infrastructure in the 1700s, 1600s, even earlier. But where are the records, the wars, the books? They've been scrubbed. The official history, it's stitched together from lies, inserts, and forgeries. There wasn't just one reset. There were many. Tartaria was just the last one that left evidence behind. We were made to normalize the cover-up, taught to revere ruins as if they were freshly built, forced to forget, made to believe we were primitive. But that's the final inversion. They convinced us we were the beginning when we were actually the after. But there's something they didn't account for. The resonance doesn't die. Tartarian buildings still hum, buried star forts still pulse beneath cities. Cathedrals still hold codes in their geometry, and you still carry the memory, because energy doesn't disappear, it waits for someone to tune in, for someone to walk the ruins and say, I remember this. And when enough of us do, the grid reactivates. And the controllers use time as the weapon. We weren't just the survivors, we were the cleanup crew. The mud didn't kill Tartaria, it preserved it. The ruins aren't broken, they're asleep. And the next time you touch the stone or feel that pulse under your feet or see a door buried halfway into the earth, don't ask what it used to be, ask what it's waiting for, because Tartaria isn't gone. It's just waiting for its frequency to return. And you are the echo that brings it back.
Yeah, we're the echo that brings it back. So we need to start getting with the resonance. So,
Okay, so I wrote a bunch of shit down, and will you drop the link to that video in the chat?
yeah. So the bells
So
are
when
really
was this?
interesting to me. The bells are a big thing because those bells that would go off were our human tuning forks. Like hey Mark, here's the video. The bells helped realign our energy. It made us clearer in the mind, and it made us less controllable, which is why they took down the bells, because we wouldn't comply if they were here. I'm still not complying, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, so this was when was this Tartaria?
This is an interesting comment. George Orwell's 1984 was about this, not the future. He was giving us clues, probably. So there's another channel on YouTube that I follow that's called Past Lies. I'll put that link in here, which it's really good. I'm totally obsessed with Tartaria because I knew at one time I was a part of Tartaria. So 1860.
Where did this place exist? So it says 18th to 19th centuries. Is that about right?
Yep.
Okay,
Maybe even
and
earlier.
where?
I think we're a part of Tartaria. I think
It says-
Tartaria was huge.
And the mud flood destroyed it in 18th to 19th centuries.
Yeah. So you see,
Modern governments occupy repurposed Tartarian buildings.
yeah.
And they were buried, half buried suddenly by a. And you think that we're on top of it here?
Yeah. Yeah, look at
In
all
the
the
States?
large doors. I mean, if you really like ask yourself, why do they have like 20-foot doors? For if we were the ones that built them, there's no way. And some of them were bronze and intricately sketched. This one's a good one too. It's called Tartaria Times, I think.
I mean, because we have found hidden.
Tartaria Vault, sorry, and Old World Ledger.
Because we have found hidden, like empires and cities and stuff. Like I know that, like in Rome, they found a bunch of like hidden cities, and right.
Yeah,
So, are
but they
these
were
like things that have places that have actually been found, or is this an assumption? I guess.
no. If you go to any major city like Philadelphia or
Mm-hmm.
Las Vegas, you're going to find the old Tartaria um, buildings there. There's another guy, I forget his name, that was in Vegas, and there was an old Tartaria building there, and he pointed it out. So here's the other one.
But who
Close,
says? I
the
mean, who
closed Grand
defined?
Canyon. I thought about that today. They're hiding a bunch of shit in the Grand Canyon. I know that for a fact. Yeah. Because they wouldn't have a military presence unless they were hiding something. They're also hiding stuff under the Smithsonian that they've taken, and they're also hiding stuff under the Vatican. But if you've ever been to Paris and you've seen that big block in the middle of the roundabout, that's cut off of a one piece of stone. That nobody has that technology today. Nobody. And these buildings, you know, like I said, this Brownsville post office, that's an example. It said it was built in 1931. And then, no, it was built in 1933 because the Masons like their 33 numbers, and then rebuilt in 1931. So how could it be that it was built in 1933 but then rebuilt 2 years previous to that? Because they lied, and then they mess up on shit, and then they expect us not to question it. Yeah.
So who like did somebody write a book on this at first? Who said what these Tartarian buildings are supposed to look like, or like, I guess where did this data come from, or this idea come from? Do you have any
Um,
idea?
no, there are a lot of people talking about it, and the maps they have seen maps that have had Tartaria on it, and if I had access to the dark web, I would be scrubbing it for new videos, because you know the internet that we have now, this adrenochrome Google piece of shit isn't going to tell you the truth. It's just not.
Yeah, there's no book, no paper, no manifesto or historical figure who formally proposed the hidden global Tartarian super empire was erased from history. The
Yep,
first
they burned down cities.
earliest intellectual influence, Anton, Anatoly Fomenko. I don't know if I'm saying that right. His contribution was he created the new chronology, claimed much of recorded history was fabricated or duplicated, asserted large portions of medieval history were invented later. This was in like the 1970s. He says history has been massively falsified. And
Yes.
then in this, people started to, I guess it started to catch on late 2000s, early 2010s.
Yeah, because when you're driving past this, and then they went and put like hieroglyphics on the rocks, and
Mm-hmm.
then with paint, and then painted over them so that they could claim them as, don't take anything from the site. It's all a bunch of bullshit. They did that to mock us, to make us think that, oh, the Indians did this when we lived in a far advanced society.
So who caused the mud flood?
I'm going to guess, if I had a clue, it would probably be the greedy, non-human 1%ers that have been running this shit show for decades.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so they just paid to have a whole world basically mudded over, or
I think they were the ones that were doing the mudding over, and they survived, knew the truth, then started the incubators and the orphanages, and the people that were in that survived, they started opening up the mental institutions and institutionalizing these people, because they would have been obviously privy to what was here prior to them doing the mud floods. So
we can
basically,
prove like we have stuff from the 1800s like that. I'm so confused. I'm going to have to study on this one, guys. I really am. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Like, this is not very long ago. They're saying it just,
they've been doing reset after reset, but the last one, it's, yeah, they have video footage of
like,
this.
literally just resetting humanity.
Yeah,
Somebody sitting up in a tower saying, okay, we're going to press a button to reset humanity.
yeah, they're behind a curtain. And if I really am going to go out on a limb, I'm going to say it's the draconian lizard people, because they could have gone
Oh,
underground.
fuck.
Yeah, the Dracos. The Dracos. There's maps and photos in old books. Yeah. Some people, when they're having to do their research, are having to go into like thrift stores and stuff to find it, because they can't find any of these books online. And if they do find the books online, they're like $3,000 or something ridiculous.
Just because somebody drew a map doesn't mean that it's true. Okay, the
AI will find those all fast.
draconian.
Made up.
What did you just call them? What did you just say? I'm gonna look that one up.
The
Draconian what?
draconians, the
Yes.
draconians, the reptiles, the lizards, draconians. They've been
Okay.
taking over people's stuff for a really long time, so when some of these people who know what's going on, they'll say it's time to go lizard hunting. David Icke talks about the lizards and how they like to feed off our loosh, which I've talked about in our other stuff. America
Okay.
is a pup. Yes.
What draconian reptiles means in conspiracy culture? Okay, just bear with me here, guys. Shape-shifting reptile-like humanoids originating from the Draco star system.
Yep.
So these are people or here on Earth. Are they human-like, or secretly controlling
No.
governments, financial, media, and bloodlines? Feeding on fear, power, or human energy. This is not a concept from science, archaeology, or mainstream history. The ancient roots are Mesopotamia, China, Mesoamerica, Europe, Africa. Okay. So there's reptile shapeshifters, basically. Guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jeff, the guy that I had on my podcast, he told me a story of how because how they disguise themselves, in my opinion, is because of the dirty electricity grid. So they can make our optical nerves not function properly the way that they're supposed to, with all of these waves, radio frequencies. So that's how they hide themselves. And that's just a speculation on my part. I don't know if that's true, but some people say that they have seen their faces. Look at the shoes, the face change. Okay.
I'm confused by that statement. I am very confused.
Mm-hmm. You know, I
Okay.
had to go down a whole lot of rabbit holes, but
Yeah,
I
officially,
finally
I'm going to
came.
have to say this is going to have to require some more research and some more discussions. I really
Okay,
want to
so
understand like who they are, and like I'd like to see some like fact-based evidence on this place
look
that
at
we're
the star.
supposedly living on top of.
Look up the star forts while you're at it. Like you can watch those two channels that I sent you. The videos are like half hour each, basically, on the ones that I put in the chat. And then the star forts are obviously real because they have like photos of them. And then also the zephyrs. There is on one of those channels that I sent you. They go over how we used to travel and how we travel now. And how we travel now is like archaic. Like if you looked at those cities and those pictures, which you can go to Philadelphia, there will be a perfect example in the Capitol building there. And look at the architecture compared to what we have now. There's no way they could have built that if you're using your common sense with a horse and buggy and on a dirt road, hauling 100 ton blocks. That's
Yeah, they just proved how
impossible.
the Egyptians built the pyramids. Like literally proved it, like as it would have happened back
That is
then.
that is not.
Yes,
No. Those
it's
blocks weigh
possible.
even more. No, that's what they tell you in school. They didn't get like 100 men with like rolling this shit on logs. It would have snapped the logs. Like if you just put it into
They had
Google,
another
would it
way.
be possible for this 3-ton block to be moved by men and rope and I don't
I think
know,
they did it on an
tree
Expedition
trunks? There's no
Unknown.
way.
I think that's where I watched it. It was on Expedition Unknown, and they literally like broke it down to the science and figured it out. Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, it's
No,
possible. I
I think
believe.
I think they lie. I'll send you a photo of one who follows me. Yes, please send it to me. Uh-huh. Yeah, I've heard that. Rails are lizards. Yes, that's what I believe. Because the Draconians didn't have any sympathy. They were very much about war, and they didn't
Were
have any
these reptile
compassion.
people here, or did they come here from outer space?
I think they came here from another dimension. Yeah.
Another dimension. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Or outer space. You can call it that if you want. But yeah.
So the highest levels of our country are being run by lizard people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's terrifying, especially when you know that they hijacked, the 1%. Then they turned around after they did the mud floods. They did the infant incubators with all of the orphan trains, and then they did the
Where did the
fight.
babies come from? If there weren't any people, like where did the other people go and hide? And then how did they create these little babies and turn
Well,
it into incubators?
I think in some rural areas where where some people survived the mud floods, those were the ones that got institutionalized because they would have had memory. Just
Okay,
like
so
the
but
targeting program
where did the
today.
humans come from that they stuck in the mud and grew out like a
Had
Harry Potter thing?
I don't know, a petri dish. They do in vitro fertilization now, so I'm gonna say an incubator.
So they just decided who was going to stick around and restart the world and cover us in mud.
To create their government, their mind control system. And then they created the Federal Reserve shortly after that in 1913. Those 7 Jewish bankers creating their cartel for world domination. These people don't care. They don't care if there's no one left, including themselves, to rule over, even if it's going to be a dust pile. Like, these people have no conscience. They're psychopaths, which is why I said they were
They're
lizards.
lizards.
Because, yeah. She's awakening, but slowly. But we gotta buckle up, this for sure. Yeah.
Shit.
Do
Okay.
you guys think that life should be like this? No one should have to live like this. This is what they created the debt system for, is for us to not remember who we are. And in fact, we're all royalty and we're all extremely wealthy. And that's what I need people to get, because once you know that, once you inherently know, and your first deposit in the global, banking system is, 20 grand or whatever, then you're going to start to see what's happening here. And we are at technically a war for our freedom and removing ourselves from the matrix that they created us to live in, which is not the way we should be living. Housing was free and should be free. Yeah, I'm telling you. I'll find out when I get my larger deposits, when they find out where my trust is and what is linked with my QSIP number. Do you think this can cause massive winter? Yes, I do. That's called geoengineering and weather modification. And I think they did that on purpose. In fact, I've seen a bunch of people, Mark, on social media going outside, picking up snow, squishing a snowball together, and then putting a lighter to it. And it's not melting like normal snow when we were children. It's actually burning like plastic and smelling like plastic. So if anybody has snow where they're at right now, I want you to go outside. I want you to get some of that snow. I want you to pack it together, and I want you to put a lighter to it and comment in this video whether or not it smells and melts like plastic, because these people, when they put a lighter to it, it's turning black. It's melting just like plastic. Do you have snow there? Yeah, I know.
No, we have not gotten any snow.
Okay, well, that's odd because you're in Wyoming. And we're getting snow here in Texas. I mean, come on. Don't you think that's a little backwards? That's a little weather modification going on.
Just a tidbit. Just a tidbit. Very interesting. Okay, well, I am open to the idea of a whole other empire buried beneath us. Just because we've seen, I'm not saying the who's and the what's and the whys. I'm saying at this point, I can see that there could possibly be an empire buried beneath us where there were giants and, well, I don't know. I just feel like it's a little too close to now. I mean, maybe if we were talking 1,000 years ago.
Let me look up. No, it's been recent.
I know, that's what doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that they did this. It's been like probably 200 years at the most. So on Rumble, I'll send you this video because I feel like this is really good. It's called Old World something, and he talks about the doors and the bells and the giants. He covers everything, but a lot of people are covering that right now because now we're starting to learn the truth and we're not going with the narrative of these people. Let me see if I can find it.
But can't we archaeologically date some of those places that they were showing to longer than that? Some of those places are very old. And we're saying this happened 200 years ago, or are we just saying this is a whole world that's been covered over, because it's all different places, right?
Tartaria was large, though. It was very, very big.
Very, very big can be the size of a good sandwich, or the size of the globe. Come on, very, very big does not. That's a Trump answer.
right.
Did
Well,
it
it was,
cover over continents? Did it? Was
yes,
it?
over continents. And that's what the maps show, actually.
Okay.
That is what the maps show. Now let me find this channel because I really liked this guy.
So what about the like places that they're finding underground that are older than 200 years ago? Does that just mean Tartaria wasn't in that spot?
I don't know about that, but I feel like they were buried during the mud flood for sure.
I'd like to see like an archaeological dig, like and data behind some of these buildings, and like do some
Right.
spectrotrographer stuff. I don't know what the word is, but where you can literally date the material.
Yeah. They've probably already done that and sent their team of scientists out there so that they could lie about it.
Can't we do it on our own? I'm sure we can find scientists who are willing to take truthful and honest tests.
I'm sure they may be, but you know. Oh, see here, this one, plastic snow that burns. I'm going to show you guys this, why we're on this subject right here. I got to copy and paste this because this is in. All right, let me put this in here. It's like a 2-minute video.
Okay.
Well, let's go with this one. Share. All right. Can you see that?
Yes.
I've seen,
Here.
hopefully, the videos of people who have used a lighter on snow and it smells like plastic burning and it doesn't really melt. So Scott went outside and grabbed some snow. He's going to squish it into a snowball.
Very cold too. Yep, ready?
And I'm going to try to get a lighter on this without burning my husband.
Good.
I'm trying. I'm just going to put this little lighter underneath.
It's really quickly burning. It's burning in. It's blackened. And you can smell it. It really, it's blacking out. Okay, look at
Do you
that.
see any drips anywhere?
There's no drip. Look at the blackness. And you can smell the,
Go ahead, put your nose to it, smell it.
I mean, you can smell it really easy. It's black and it's plastic.
Oh yeah, smells like burning plastic.
It's burning plastic. Look at that right down there. It's burning plastic. It's not even.
It's not even dripping.
It's crackling.
Did you
Yeah.
hear that? Okay, so the cool thing with science is that experiments are meant to be repeated. So I'd encourage you to go out, grab some snow, try this for yourself, see if your snow in your area has the same effect. And as always on Scott's Telegram room, which is Dr. Scott Young, we always say to people to do your own research, use discernment, pray about it, and make your own decisions. So there's this in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area.
Yep, and we got to pray about it. We got to pray that they don't off us all.
This sucks.
I know, but we got to know because we got to save the children.
Drives me nuts, but it is what it is.
Oh, yeah. If you haven't been in the gang stalking program, you cannot wrap your head around any of it. I know, but I had to free myself from that. And that got a lot better when I was published with the Texas land recorder here. And so in order for me to get my credentials card, the state coordinator needs to upload my documents to the GFG site, because right now it says pending or something like that, and so it needs to say corrected, I think. Hell will be hot for them. Yep.
I freaking love you, friend. You know?
Yes, but the reason I'm obsessed with Tartaria is because of the clean energy. And I know that the clean energy exists because a lot of people have created free energy. And a lot of them were unalived because of it.
Yeah.
Like you can go to 1970 something, and there was a guy who created an invention to have his vehicle run off of steam and water. And then he went to meet someone with his brother, and then he was walking out of the restaurant and collapsed after he had been poisoned, because they don't want us to be self-reliant. They want us to be reliant on this system, which I'm not going to be a part of. It's like a shit show.
Yeah. Well, I would rather just go back and live in a pixie fairyland that has music and sound and good energy, and you know, we
Right?
weren't shooting each other in the streets. So if that's where this place is that they're talking about,
Yes.
I'd like to go there.
Yeah, exactly. We want peace. We want love, light, peace, and joy and harmony, and that's what we want. So, and if it takes us going through the darkness to get to the place where we need to be, where we're completely at peace, then that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to fight for it. Unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah.
Too bad we're not here long enough to see it change.
Oh, I think we will be. I'm seeing it already. I'm glad I waited, because I was looking at the American State National stuff about 5 years ago, just barely before they started targeting me extremely hard. And I'm glad I waited until everything that happened to me happened, because I think there's a better chance of us taking these criminal government agencies out with me becoming an American state national.
Well, you're happy. That's what matters.
Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
what are we talking about next? No, I'm good. I'm just tired now. I was all energy, but
We'll
it's
figure
good.
it out. Yeah.
I'll figure it out. I'm just glad I get to see like I'm reading some of the names that we see all the time, and
Yes.
we appreciate you guys, man. I love it. I love it.
Yes, I love it too. I'm grateful for
And
you
you bring a
guys.
lot of value to the conversations, man.
Yeah.
Like there's some good stuff in here. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you, people.
What do we want to
appreciate
talk
you.
about? What do we want to talk about though next week? Any ideas for you guys in the chat?
Well, they've given us quite a few. Do we still have notes from the last one?
I don't remember.
I think we have a whole list of them somewhere. We could probably look back at the previous notes. I know we have a list of them. Anybody got any ideas though? I don't know. Should we talk about this ice thing?
It's hard for me to talk about that because I'm not exactly sure what they're doing. I mean, if they were lizard hunting, I'd be okay with that. But I think they're criminals. I think they're criminal.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I guess we will find something to talk about. We can just figure it out over the next few days and let people know. We appreciate you, all of you. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for supporting Kimberly. Appreciate you very much.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss you. I love you.
I miss you. I love you too. I'll see you soon. And I love you guys. Stay strong.
You got this.